Are you a kitchen or bathroom remodeler who is tired of the endless cycle of quoting jobs that go nowhere? You're spending hours on doing estimates only to figure out that they're ghosting you or telling you that you're too expensive. It's a super frustrating cycle to be stuck in, and I've seen it over and over again working with hundreds of kitchen and bathroom remodelers. So if you're a or bathroom remodeler, you have probably tried one of three things. Number one is buying leads from services like Angie's List or Home Advisor, who's forcing you into a bidding war where you're just one of a dozen contractors competing on price instead of quality, or you've tried running cheap showcase offer on Facebook that attracts homeowners who are looking for a discount instead of a quality remodel, which just fills your pipeline with low quality that rarely converts. Or you experience poor ad messaging, which is generic ads that just focus on discounts instead of craftsmanship and quality, which tells the algorithm only to find you cheap leads instead of the actual best ones. So our approach, so the old way is to basically optimize for these cheap leads, which aren't the best leads. It's attracting price shoppers with discount offers. It generates a high volume of unqualified prospects, and it leads to wasted time and low closing rate. And just to elaborate a bit on this, when you're advertising on Facebook, you are essentially telling Facebook with your messaging who you want to target. And if you are trying to basically target extremely broad by telling like this, we're looking for 5 homeowners interested in a remodel at a special discounted rate, you aren't necessarily only speaking into the people that are actively in the market looking for a kitchen or bathroom remodel right now. You are provoking interest within people that aren't maybe even considering getting a kitchen or bathroom remodel done right now. And that means you're targeting way higher up in the funnel than just targeting the people that are actually right now in the market and are just looking for the best quality. And that means you're probably getting a whole bunch of leads, a whole bunch of appointments, but you're just targeting for the wrong outcome. Because when you look at the bottom line, how much revenue you have generated from the campaigns, you can probably see that your close rate is lower, your average order value is lower, and thereby your profitability of the whole system is lower, which the whole premise of running ads is to have a predictable and profitable machine that you can scale. And that's why our approach is a bit different. So we optimize for the highest quality homeowners, we attract serious buyers that are ready to invest in quality, and we have messaging that focuses on craftsmanship, durability, and trust. And that leads to a pipeline of profitable, ready to buy projects. So this is like a really common theme that I've seen over and over again, which is, remodelers that one month they're swamped with work, the next month you're scrambling for leads, or you're wasting time on price shoppers and tire kickers, and thereby you're unable to scale your business predictably. And this is like a really tough spot to be in, because when you want to scale your business, you're obviously trying to hire employees, project managers, sales reps, and all of that. And if you have unpredictable lead flow, maybe you can't keep your project managers busy, or you can't keep your reps busy, or your crews aren't having enough work. And that will lead to employee churn, which makes it extremely hard to scale the business. So that's why it's so important to have this predictability in the business, so you always know you have jobs coming in. So why is it that traditional lead generation fails? So first of all, word of mouth, it's unpredictable and unreliable. I mean, it's definitely great getting referrals, but you can just only scale to a certain revenue level by relying on referrals. The next thing is shared lead directories, which forces you to compete on price. Then we have low quality leads, which waste your time and resources. And you just can't command premium prices for quality work, because as everyone is competing on price, then you're competing with everyone. But instead, if you're competing on authority and are positioning yourself as the go-to professional in the area, then you're like in a category of one instead. And that is exactly what we built. So we built a systematic approach to generate qualified appointments. And I'm not saying you should use us for this service. You can also go ahead and implement this yourself in your business. But we want to build a brand where you are the go-to expert that attracts clients that are ready to invest in quality, that eliminate price competition, and creates a predictable flow of high value projects. So how do we do that? Number one is the authority. So we want to have high quality videos that are showcasing your best projects. Because again, we want to put you into a category of one instead of having you to compete against all of the other clients within the area or all of the other remodeling businesses within the area. And what we want to tell Facebook's algorithm here is that we're crafting messages or messaging that is essentially speaking to people that are in the market right now for remodeling. So the hook for the video could, for instance, be if you're watching this video, you're probably looking to get your kitchen remodeled. And then it goes into the pain points of like stress-free remodel and all of those things that people that are in the market are actually thinking about. Because if you want your kitchen to be remodeled, yes, price is a factor, but it's not the number one thing. It's about having someone that you can trust going into your home and making sure that with peace of mind, it's not turning your home into like weeks of chaos. That's a pain point, for instance, right there. Or it could be talking about the investment opportunity, having a remodel that can then help you increase the value instead of having people seeing it as a cost. Then obviously, next thing is we want to focus on homeowners with high intent and budget, build credibility and trust before contact. And we want to run ads on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram and other platforms. Step two is then filter for serious buyers. So we have a pre-qualifying survey before they even sign up as a lead that makes sure they are within the project range or budget range, that they are within the scope of work. So, we don't want some just like handyman stuff. It's not worth driving out to. And then also making sure that they have a realistic timeline in terms of when they're looking to get started with the project. Next thing then is also a part of the qualification process. So you want to always have someone calling all of the leads up within 2 minutes. If you're working with us, then obviously we have people on the phone, in-house sales team that will call all of the leads up. But if you're doing it yourself, then you need to do it yourself within 2 minutes, or you need to have someone on your team doing it for you. Because there's a 400% higher chance that they will actually book an appointment if they're called within 2 minutes. So it's the highest lever that you can pull if you're running ads. And again, you want to squeeze all of the juice out of what you're spending so you can be as profitable as possible with your advertising, so you can take the profit you're generating, put back into the system, and make more money. So you're basically playing a predictable lottery. Next thing you want to have is automated reminders. So you want to have email and text messages that are ensuring they're showing up for their appointment. So first thing is actually also the qualification, which goes into the show rate. So you want to build that personal connection with them. You want to ask them questions about, what they're looking to get done, why they want to do something about this now. So they tell themselves why they want to do it now and double down on that. But also they build internal motivation to actually get something about this done. Maybe they had their family over this Christmas and they were embarrassed by their kitchen. That could be a pain point that you could talk into that could build more motivation within them to actually take action. And then obviously something that I forgot to mention about the qualification is not only on the survey, but also over the phone. You are qualifying them again to make sure that they have realistic expectations in terms of the budget. You can give them a project price range, like the averages of what your projects are ranging from, just so they have that perspective. And if they don't agree to like the broad price range, they're definitely not a great fit. You also want to make sure that the timeline is there, that they're looking to get started within the next 30 to 90 days, and then also that it's within the scope of work. Also on the phone, we want to make sure that the decision makers are present, because if you go to your wife or husband and tell them, hey, I just had this random guy over, we got quoted a 40K kitchen, without any real context, they're probably just going to say no. And that's exactly what we want to avoid, so your team is not wasting their time on the appointment. Also, you should basically call them 3 hours before the appointment and 24 hours before the appointment to confirm. And in these automated reminders, you want to have a message that is speaking to the law of reciprocity. And what I mean by that is you send them a message that is telling them and making them excited for the appointment. You're telling them, hey, we've just finished off some design drafts for your project, or whatever that speaks along those lines, that's get them excited. And you tell them that you have actually prepared something for their appointment, because then they feel bad for not showing up. That's a way of doing it. We also have a video that we have implemented in our appointments workflows. So it's a 2-minute video that we encourage them to watch before the appointment, because they can then see it's like a real trustworthy company. It builds their expectations about what to expect. And it also makes sure that they feel like it's a no pressure free consultation. So it's not like someone going in and just trying to get money out of them. All right. So who am I to speak about these results, and how has this actually helped our partners just before you go and implement it yourself? So one of the partners we work with is Bath Tune-Up, Trevor with Bath Tune-Up in Lakewood and Broomfield. They added 222K in pipeline. They closed 40K within the first 2 months of working with us. We work with the Bath Tune-Up chain. We also work with the Kitchen Tune-Up chain, so we have multiple of their locations. We also work with Mike with Renovation Innovations in Michigan, and then also Red Rock Kitchen and Bath in Phoenix, Arizona, who added 300K in the first 60 days of working with us. So the averages we're normally seeing from our partners working on Facebook and Instagram specifically is a 20x return on investments. Our partners are normally spending around $100 a day to begin with. And then once they see a good return, they ramp it up to 200, 300, 400. We even have some partners spending upwards to $1,200 a day on advertising. Normally, we see a 500K annual growth in profitable projects per year, just on average. And yeah, it creates a system for you that is predictable, repeatable, and also scalable. So if you want to implement this predictable appointment engine, feel free to take inspiration from this and do it yourself. Or if you want my team to help you out, feel free to book a strategy session with our team, where we will map out a custom plan for your business and show you exactly how this can possibly transform your remodeling company. Just some expectations. We are normally only working with businesses doing over $1 million a year. All right, that's it for this video. Take care. Bye-bye.